Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. I'm coming to you with a sneak peek into the signatures for the Beloved Beauty Journal. I worked on this quite a bit today here in the studio, nice and quiet and calm. And we're also going to do a bonus mixed media kind of envelope flip, which is one of the signatures in one of these. So I took it out. I can't remember. I think it was this one. So let's go ahead and start by reviewing and looking at the signatures. So this actually goes in the middle of this, but I'll show you that when we're done making that. I maybe should do that in reverse order, but so this is the first page of one signature, and I did do some embossing around the edge. I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but it's got a texture and kind of a shimmery finish to it. So that is the first page. Let me move this a little bit closer here. And then we've got lace paper on the back. And then I took this page and I just cut it into a heart shape, and I thought it was really unique and different. So I like that. This is a copy of my mixed media paper on the other side. I've got a vellum page here. And again, all the kits that I used will be listed in the supply list over on my blog. So a vintage magazine page. I love this. Is one about our mother's heart. Your mothers depart from us, gently depart on tiptoe, but we sleep soundly on, stuffed with food, and fail to notice this dread hour. So we've got that. I'll probably do something pretty significant to cover that up because I don't care for this, but we'll see how it goes when we get to that point. I decided to do all the decorating in this before I bind the journal and do the cover. So that's very different for me. And then we've got this one. This is a copy of a vintage music page from my stash. It is, I don't see the date on here. It's on it somewhere on the original. So we've got that, and each signature has 7 pages. And then I did a coffee dyed lined paper on the back, which appears to be upside down, but that's gonna have to be okay. Oh goodness. And then another page from the kit, and I just used my one of my punches and did this cool stuff there. So that is that signature. And the reason why they're so small is because I do just stuff them full, and I thought I'm just going to allow myself some more room. So this is the first page in this signature, and again I did embossing. I wish the camera would pick it up. It's really tough to see. There's a little bit of shimmer there. I don't know if you can tell. So that's the first page, and then we've got another. This is a vellum page and a magazine page. So what I did is I took the magazine page, I left this one plain. I love that image. and then I put a piece of vellum over the top of this one that had has like a lacy design. So you're going to see that again and again throughout this journal, that particular paper. It's just a page from a kit printed on vellum. This is again a copy of a vintage music page from my stash. Copyright in 1912, so that's pretty cool. And then this is a page from the kit, and I just I left the back full, you can see here, and then I just made a snip here and a snip here, and then I just rough tore the rest of that just to be a little bit different. And another piece of vellum. Another music page. I like the verse on this. The little old garden. In a little old garden away from the world, I wander and sing mid the blossoms unfurled. I treasure its music, its sunshine and dew. So I like that. And this is a tea stain paper from Angela Kerr Designs. And then here's our center signature, which will be another envelope thing, which we're not going to do today, but that is something for the future. So let me just set that aside. And here is our last signature. First page is this one, and I don't mind that they're all different sizes and stuff sticking out. I really, really love that. So if you don't like that, then you could obviously trim them up and make them all even, but I don't mind it. Another piece of vellum here. And I thought it looked pretty in front of this. This is this lady in the tub vintage magazine page. I just love it. So roses blush white on the first romance. So this is a antique romance journal, so I thought, why not? Why not? And then I, on the other side, I didn't like what was on the other side, so I just put a piece of paper over that. And then we have this page, another page from the kit. This is from Chapter 1 papers. And then coffee dyed digital on the back. This is another vintage music page. Let me show you the whole thing here. It looks like that. Kind of your, tells you where everything is. Oh, these look like prices, don't they? Interesting. I don't remember what year that is either at the top of my head. Again, that's just a photocopy, not the original. And then this one is another vintage music page from my stash. And this one I messed up on, and so I just had to improvise. That's why it's so small. And then I thought we'd do something with this envelope. This is one of the envelopes from the, when you order like the wax seal kit, you get those in there. So oftentimes, so that is that. So let's just set those aside and get working on this. I have prepped everything because I want to be able to just zip through this with you. Forgot to get my glue out. So I've got my Fabri-Tac because I do have some elements that are kind of heavy. And then I've got my Barely Arts, my art glitter glue. And then I did pull some gold, iridescent gold fine. That's what I'm going to do to kind of accent all of these pieces for this project. There we go. So I printed this out on my printer, and it just says, "My beloved calls me by my name." And this is Beloved Beauty Journal, so this was perfect. I just wrote that myself. Like, it's from the Bible. I believe it's from Song of Solomon, which is just precious to me. So, and because this is for my friend and it is an antique romance, I thought, how perfect. This is what Jesus calls us. He calls us by our name, and we are his beloved. And so that's going to be on this envelope. This envelope is going to be very plain. It's just going to be basically like this, but I'm going to highlight this with the gold. So I'm just setting some bits aside so I can keep straight here. We've got a pocket. We've got the back for an envelope, the flap, and then we've got this little assemblage of stuff that's going to go on the front of the envelope. So this envelope measures, let me see if I can grab my ruler in case you're interested. This measures 7 1/4 by 5 and a little over a quarter. So what we're going to do here is I did take a bunch of pieces and I prepped them just to save time. And so I did another embossing of this using this embossing folder with those roses you would have seen in a previous video, but I did it again, and then I'm going to use it kind of as background here on this beautiful layout. So this piece is going to go down first, and so let's go ahead and do that. Well, actually, I think I want to get some gold on here first. I want to really accent this whole thing with the gold. So I'm just going to spill some out here on my mat here. I need a paper towel though, so I'm definitely going to need to wipe these fingers. So I'm going to do that. I did buy some gold watercolor, but I don't feel like it's going to really suit me when I'm mixing mixed media. So I might give it a try sometime. But so I'm just using the edge of my finger to kind of get some gold on here, and we'll do that around the envelope too. But I just love that hint of gold. It's just always so appealing to me. Gold to me speaks of royalty, and to me, it not that like gold rings and things like that. If somebody buys you gold rings, that means that they really love you and it's authentic and all that, because that's just material things of this world. But I think that our value is really equivalent to gold, to God, and I think that we should, even if you don't believe in God, and that's not your faith system, we can live with by that mentality of we are that precious. We are more precious than gold. So I already got some paint on there. So I am going to need to dry this though, because I'm not going to be able to glue it down without getting all yucky. So give me a moment. Okay, that should be good now. I want the acrylic because I know it's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere. So, and then I think I had this upside down before. I want the script to be going the right way. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. I'm going to use my Bearly Arts. I really enjoyed preparing this. I am a mixed media lover, and so this was a way for me to incorporate a little bit of mixed media fun into the process here. I'm trying not to get too close to that paint because I do see it is still a little bit tacky. I don't want to get it all over the place. So there we go. We'll put some gold around the envelope as well, but you can see it just on the edges of that paper. Isn't that so pretty? Already wearing it myself. Okay, so then our girl, same thing. We're going to put a little bit of gold around her, and so there's going to be some drying time here. In fact, let me go ahead and put all of the gold everywhere that I want it right now, so we can just move on without interruption. So this envelope is going to be a flip down, so that'll make more sense here in a moment. I actually did a mixed media piece with this girl, and I absolutely love it. It's hanging right in my studio where I can see it all the time. I decided to keep it for myself, and I did a Sunday's Art of Truth on that if you want to check it out. I'll link that too in case you're interested. It was a mixed media MDF board at 12 by 12, and this girl is the featured image, and the title of it is Defined. And so what I was writing about was what defines us. Like, how do we decide what defines us? Does the world define us? Does God define us? Do we define ourselves? Like, who do we let do that? And so in my faith system, obviously, God defines me. Jesus defines me. And the world can get to me, but at the end of the day, the world is not where my value lies. And so I always go back and rest on the truth that I belong to Him, and that's how I measure myself. I don't measure myself by the world's standards. Ooh, that was a lot of paint. Goodness gracious, Renee. That's okay. Because I'm holding it up, it's kind of a little bit of a precarious situation here. And so we're going to go again around the edges. I need a little bit more. I do kind of tap it off so I don't get just a big glob. But this is a great way to accent your pieces. You don't even have to use gold. You could use whatever your accent color is for your journal, or if you have a color theme or something like that. You could totally do this just to spice things up a little bit. And so that's what that looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I do say so myself, and that's done. And then let's do this little bit here. It's a little bit thin because it's just a piece of coffee dyed paper, but one of from my stash. So I'm going to do that here as well. It's going to be a pretty fast video, other than I did absorb some of the time by showing you the signatures, but a little sneak peek, kind of fun. To be honest, doing the signatures is my least favorite part of the process. I love to do the ephemera. So I'm going to set this down and see if I have a better result by just kind of going like this, because that's been tricky. Just try to get a whole bunch on my finger here. Oh, this is gorgeous. And again, you could do this with silver, you could do this with any color paint that you wanted to. I just think that this adds a really elegant look to this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did just used my Vintage Photo Archival ink and the Distress ink in Picked Raspberry, and I believe it's aged mahogany. So I did that all off camera. But if you want to see what I used, if that's actually in another video, I will link it. This was just kind of an offshoot of that process. So that seems to be perfect. So let's go around this with the gold. It's going to be gorgeous. And then we might have to dry this so that we can move on, though, because I don't want to just dry one at a time. So I'll pause and do the drying and then come back and we'll start getting this put together. Okay, I think we might be good to move on here. So let me bring this back over. I forgot to do around the envelope. Doggone it. I should have done that. Okay, so she's going to go right here in the center. And it's not a great print. I don't know if you guys can see those lines. It's something to do with the image. This was from Pixabay, but I'm not concerned about it. This is just ephemera. It's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer this stuff behind it to create. This is kind of that mixed media look that I've been talking about and that I really, really enjoy. So I'm going to try to get that up there, and then we're going to try to get this down here. I just want to kind of get an idea of where everything needs to go before I start gluing. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabri-Tac because this is a very porous and thick paper. Just like so, and I'm going to try to butt that right up into this area here, just so that we can see it nice and good. And then the same here. I think my husband escaped outside. He's working from home because he can't go to work because he's been exposed to me with a positive COVID result, and so he is struggling with working from home because our internet won't, it's enough to upload videos and whatever, but his work keeps telling him it's our internet and whatever, and it's like, I don't know, I download videos and I don't have any trouble, so I'm not sure what that's about. But I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue here to get this down. This is a really thin paper, so I don't want to use my Fabri-Tac because I think it's just too thin. So if you want to dabble a little bit in mixed media, get out your embossing folders, get out your inks, and just start playing with layers, because that is mixed media, is layers. Just the layers is what gives it the element of surprise, and that kind of, like in this case, the elegance is translated because of the layers that are going down. So mixed media is my passion, next to watercolor. I did do some watercolor while I was at the lake, but I didn't do a lot. So I'm just going to set this down here, and just I can wiggle it a little bit. Not much is really sticking out, but that's okay. It's just there for it's just there. If it's seen, it's seen, right? We talk about that a lot, especially with mixed media layering. You do lose some bits. I just didn't want that stuff sticking out past the paper below. So that's why I'm doing that. So that is the front of our envelope. So the way this is going to work is this envelope is actually going to be a flip up from here. And this needs to go on here. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even think about the fact that this was going to cover her, but that's okay. It kind of gives her kind of a concealed look. I kind of like that. Maybe we should do that and hide her completely. Ooh, I like that idea. I was going to do it from the bottom, but I'm really liking this. So that's going to go like that. And then I am going to trim this off just a bit because I don't want to bump into that for my pocket. So I'm just going to cut that off. Goodness. Huge scissors. Whoops. Now they're on the floor. Okay, so we're going to do there. Oh, I love that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Did I do this wrong? Oh, it's just going to go the opposite way that I had planned. I just glued everything on opposite, so it was really going to be flipped, but that just means it's going to, when it goes in the signature, the signature is going to be here, which is no different. It's just opposite of what I had in my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this closed on this edge, and then we will glue the flap down. Like so. And just wanting to make sure I'm thinking about this correctly. So we're not making any kind of additional pockets out of this at all. This is just strictly a flip, was my idea. I'm just thinking about that really quick again, make sure that's what I want, because technically we could do a pocket here. I think I want to do a pocket there, except my paper's kind of thin. This is the same paper that is underneath here. I think it's going to be okay. I think we will do that, which means that we, let's see, or we could make a slit on the top here to make another pocket. Maybe we'll do that instead. We do have a little bit of room. Sorry for the change of mind here. I'm always thinking of better ways to get more tuck spots and more places to hide things. So I'm just going to take a sliver off of this just to open that up. So I'm opening it up on the top. Because this is free floating and it's a flippy thing, I can't just like glue it down on three sides and have that be sufficient. So that looks good. So now we're open. Whoops. Uh-oh. I just opened it up on the bottom. Goodness gracious. That was the opposite of what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's glue this shut. That's okay. We improvise, right? All right. So get that glue in there and let that set. And so that's okay. We'll just have something coming out of the bottom. That's not a problem, because we can always paper clip it. So let's go ahead and glue this flap down. So I'm going to leave that position so that I get it nice and even, like so. Okay. I think my husband went outside because we just got back from East Lake, last weekend. And not the one we just had, but the weekend before, right? Or was it? Yeah. And they're going to go camping. I am not going camping because I am still sick. And I think the campfire really makes me not feel good. I don't like the smoke, and my asthma doesn't like the smoke. So I won't be going. If the weather's decent, I might go up and just drive up for the day just to see everybody, but there we go. I think this is wonderful. Don't you love happy surprises where you're like, oh, and then now we've got this side, so we've got another pocket. Ooh, yay. Okay. I need to grab my scissors off of the floor. So here we go again for some more surprises. So if this flips out, this can be a pocket, but it needs to be a pocket. I didn't even cut a piece for that. Goodness gracious. Do we want it to have an opening at the top or the side? I think I want this side open. So let's go ahead and just trim that. I don't trust myself with that. Let me get the trimmer out. Just going to take another slice here. Sorry, I know that that's not super easy to see. Come on, I'm just not going to fight with that though, because I risk actually tearing this and destroying it. So I'm just going to finish that trim off with my scissors. There we go. I'm going to have to cut a piece to go there though, because I completely neglected that back side. I don't know what I was thinking. So there, now we're open. The embossing goes all the way through though, so that's why this is sticking a little bit. It's okay. And that's there is good. Got a little bit of a torn part. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this nice and secure here. It's sticking a little bit just because of the embossed paper. So I'm just going to press that down. And then let's go ahead and get some glue here. Boy, oh boy. This is what happens when you decide to do a surprise addition to your project. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down as well. And then I need to find another piece of paper to go here. So give me just a quick moment, guys. Okay, so we do have another piece of this paper, which is pretty handy. A little scrap here. So let me just trim this up a little bit so I can use, I have access to all of it that's left. The rest I can just trim with my scissors here in a moment. So, uh-oh, it has to go like that. Goodness gracious, Renee. This is why I usually try to have everything prepped, because this could be a wild goose chase. So we're going to go ahead and line that up like so. And I'm going to mark it with my pencil, because that going all the way to this point is going to tell me also how far I need to cut this way. So that's why I'm doing that. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right? Okay. There we go. Except I just cut that off. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Try that again. Fumble fingers here. Not a great measurer, so I do tend to do the pencil grab and improvise. There we go. So that's going to go there. So let's go ahead and ink it up real quick. So anyway, I think my husband's outside getting stuff ready for camping. I think he leaves on Friday night. Just our younger daughter and her family will be going. My son will not, and my older daughter will not because of games and stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that on. So I just want to make sure that I only put glue here. I don't put glue in here because that's where the envelope, I know it's hard to see with this, so that area right here is, we don't want glued. Goodness gracious. Loosen up here. Okay. So I'm going to start by putting the glue here, not using my art glitter glue, using Barely Arts. I'm going to run a bead of glue here. And then all the way around. Hopefully this art glitter glue is going to hold. I might put some Fabri-Tac in the middle. Nope, I can't because the paper's too thin. Ah! I just put glue on the center in the inside. Ah! Come on. Come on, Renee. Okay, we're going to try it though. So, whoops, I just put glue there. Doggone it. It's okay. This is what happens when you improvise, right? So we're going to go ahead and put this down right there and make sure that it's all nice and lined up. And then I'm going to get my ruler in there right away just to make sure that everything is not, nothing is blocked up in there. So that's our little flip. I love it. We will have to do a little bit of trimming, but let's get that ruler in there. Make sure everything is nice and open. It is beautiful. I don't want to mess with that too much right now though, because we can open that up and that's counterproductive. It looks like it's going to hold okay with the Barely Arts. So you know what? I don't see anything hanging over. Looks pretty. Oh, I see some white up there. Just a tad bit. These scissors are way too big for that though. Here's my fussy cut scissors. Let's try those. Just a smidge off this side here. There we go. So now we have a pocket. Now I did not prepare anything for that pocket, but that is okay. I can do that off camera and put it in the photos at the end, just because I don't want to keep you too long. That's not really happening. We're seeing the white core of that paper, so that's what I'm trying to cover up here. We're coming up here a little bit. Let me just put a little more glue right there. There we go. Okay, I love that. So I will create a journal card to go in here. And so we've got that pocket, and then we don't have anything on here. Maybe we'll put a little vellum pocket or something. We'll see. So then on the back, we're not going to make a pocket here, so I'm just going to put this piece of paper down. I'm trying to use this paper throughout the project. So, and again, because that is not a pocket. Oh, it is a pocket. Okay, wasn't it a pocket? I thought we opened one of these up. Didn't we? Goodness gracious, Renee. We did. We opened the top up. Why isn't it opening? That's really strange. Oh, it was the bottom that we opened. We did that wrong. But it's not open now, so I must have glued it. You know what? I'm going to just... darn it. I really, really want that to be there. I could have swore we opened this up. I'm going to open it, guys. Again. But this time the right piece. Please don't leave, guys. I promise I'm not Looney Tunes. So then there we've got that pocket. So same thing, we're going to put this on. We're going to make sure we preserve this space in here so that we don't affect our pocket. So that's going to stay, that's what I did, I think. I glued that. Oh, goodness gracious. Sometimes crack myself up. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue all around this. It doesn't matter if you put the glue on the envelope or you put it on the paper. I will put a little bit more on the envelope too, where I want to reinforce. So so that's all I'm doing there, is just the edges. And then we want a bead of glue here along that flap. And then I'm going to just go ahead and put it all in here because I can't do it on the paper. So double glue is not going to hurt anything. Okay, so that's that, and everything is, oh, she's upside down. Not that this paper matters, it doesn't at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down and try to line it up. Actually, I'm going to try to line it up to this edge here first. We can always trim if we need to. So that looks good. I'm going to give that a press. Awesome. We have a little bit of trimming to do, but that's not too terribly bad. So let's just take care of that now. I got all kinds of turned around with my flippy flaps on this. So, so this is now open on the top. Let's get our ruler in there. So this is going to be loaded when we're done. So I'm just running my ruler in there again just to make sure that our pocket is okay. And that looks fantastic. I do need to ink this up because this was an afterthought here. As many of my things are, it seems. This was fun though. Definitely went down a path I didn't intend to. But it worked out beautifully. So there's that. So we go like this, and she flips. Our little secret girl is in there, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I might put a piece of writing paper or something there. I'm not sure. Don't want to make a decision about that yet. I do need to glue this piece of paper on here so that it's ready for the other part of the other edge of the signature that it's going to be tucked into. So my hands are not working very well today. This is actually my second video today because I've just been hanging out in the studio most of the day. Trying not to sleep during the day, even though I am tired, because I wasn't sleeping at night, and that was problematic. And I have this issue with my feet certain times of the year, not all the time, where my legs won't stop moving, and so I wasn't sleeping well at night for that reason either. So super frustrating. There we go. And doesn't that just look like a little letter? Just like that? But it's not. It's awesome. And then this will be, oh, I think I did the wrong thing. I will have to cover this as well, I believe. So I will do that. I won't bore you with that. I'll take care of it. So, and then this is going, and I love how this turned out because this is actually going to go on here like a book plate. Absolutely phenomenal. So let's go ahead and glue her on as well. I've got a vellum pocket. I don't have anything for the pocket or the tuck spots, but again, I will do that before I upload the video, and there'll be photos at the end of the video. So that is that. Let's just make sure that's straight. Looks great. I'll give that a press. My beloved calls me by my name. And so on the back here, what I was going to do is put a little vellum pocket. So let's do that really quick. Not sticking. Not sticking. Went a little fast and furious with the glue. It wasn't very meticulous. There we go. So I've got this vellum, and I thought we'd make a pocket here. It's a little bit of a different look here than, don't have any of that paper on vellum. I would love to just do this paper on vellum, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and use this because it's what I have. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up really quick. And we'll stick some stuff in there too. So we're going to use our Barely Arts here because it's the best for vellum. Oh goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. There we go. Okay. Get that back over there a little bit. I've got glue on my table, so I'm trying to stay clear of that spot there. Go ahead and put this on. Love vellum pockets. You can't really see the background paper very well through this vellum because it's pretty bold print, but that's okay. And so off camera I will cover this at this flap on the other side, and I'll make some stuff to put in. We've got our little opening here, and it's beautiful. So let me just get a little bit of paint out here, do the last of my my gold. So I completely forgot that. So elegant. Got some white I need to trim off, but I can do that even though I'm putting the paint on. Don't want to keep you any longer than I have to here. Okay guys, thank you so much for coming by again, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.